The Reaper, the Maelstrom, and the Thief is a Dungeons & Dragons show by RollCast, intended for mature audiences. It contains mature themes, strong language, violence, and drug references. Full content warnings can be found in the episode description.
Hello and welcome back to the table. As usual, I am joined by Ragnarok, our half-orc bard, played by JB.
Yes.
Gregor, our dragonborn cleric, played by Coogan.
Yo.
And Iyvak, our human monk, played by Gaz.
Hello.
And as usual, I am your unflappable DM, Tom. So, guys, last time that we did this, I asked you guys a couple of questions. Well, a question about your characters, about who you are, get a little bit more information out there. So, following on from that, and in a bit less of a risque kind of question, although potentially risque, what is your favourite way to relax? Start off with you, Coogan.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, Gregor.
Favorite way to relax? That's a good question for a Dragonborn. Well, I gotta say, yeah, I've got nothing. Absolutely nothing. I would say for Gregor, I think the best way to relax is probably in a nice pub somewhere, next to a nice fire, and maybe reminiscing about old times, I think, and maybe trying to also figure out what to do next. I would say for Gregor.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, having probably a mead and like trying to work out his next move. He's always a thinker. Well, trying to be a thinker.
That's fair play.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Ragnarok, how's your favourite way to relax?
Rag doesn't really like to relax, to be honest. So choosing a favourite would probably be quite difficult for him. When he relaxes, he just can't stop thinking about women. So, and spending the time around these other companions, it's a little bit tricky. So
it's a bit of a sausage fest, isn't it?
It's a bit of a sausage fest, yeah. So, avoids all aspects of relaxing at all costs because he just can't really control himself when he does. So, my favorite thing about relaxing is not relaxing.
Well said. Well said.
Insightful. Very insightful. It actually does explain quite a lot about Ragnarok, to be quite honest.
It's like PMQs.
There's less lying than PMQs. And finally, Iyvak, how about you? How do you like to relax after a hard day of killing things?
Well, I think it's rather obvious, really. It comes with my occupation. It'd be the meditating. It's a wonderful place to be. You get to a point of numbness, stillness, a sense of calm. That's what I like to do.
Fair enough. I think actually, yeah, out of every answer that we've got, that is the first one which could actually be seen as relaxing. Apart from drinking at a tavern, actually.
Well,
Self-explanatory, Iyvak.
I remember back in the guild, one of the things we used to do was called the still warming, where it was a rather rigorous trial, but you would actually have to sit out in the cold mountain air, around in the snow, and sit perfectly still, not even shiver with the cold.
That doesn't sound relaxing to me.
Well, it's not relaxing unless you do it right.
Sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, either relax or die of hypothermia doesn't sound that'd probably have the opposite effect. But you do you.
He's obviously chose to relax.
Just a matter of training, my friend.
So, moving along from that. the last time we had seen all of you guys, you had finally actually made it to the Mithril Mines. You'd made it to Menel, and you'd passed through a long entranceway into the Mithril Mines, and due to their racial heritage, we'll say, neither Ebchar or Amrius thought that they could actually speak to these crystal elves that resided in the Mithril Mines, and as such they kind of asked you guys if you would essentially act as ambassadors, which you all did relatively well. There was one or two misunderstandings, but you did get introduced to Ilyar Shardlight, the leader of the Crystal Elves, and again, all seemed to be going very well. He was admitting you entrance to the lower levels. He even gave you a little bit of information about another group that had essentially already been there, saying that they were going to deal with things, but alas, they have not returned as of yet, which made you all a little bit wary of them, thinking that they might actually be the cult that you're aware of now. However, upon crossing the entrance floor, you all realise that it was actually kind of like a shop front with a lot of inert new mine crystals for sale and a lot of new mine crystal vendors, essentially. Whilst all of you pretty much made your way over to the elevator to the lower levels, Ragnarok did not. Ragnarok noticed that these crystals were very shiny and quite potentially very expensive. And unfortunately, Ragnarok is no longer in Salt Harbour anymore, which means the nullifying effect of the pink new mine crystal is no longer in play. And unfortunately, Ragnarok could not resist the compulsion to steal a lot of crystals. And similarly to what happened in the Market Rust all that time ago, it did not pan out how he expected. A lot of his plans were scuppered, essentially. He did manage to pick up one or two crystals, quite a few actually, but not the amount that would leave him satiated. So instead, what he did after his magic hand had been detected and already set off a series of events that led to Iyvak accidentally killing a guard using his eye powers, and Gregor slamming a boulder onto the guard's head and his own foot as Iyvak started tremoring the entire cave, already weakening a structure.
Self-defense.
I mean, I wouldn't have called that self-defense, but alright, fair enough. Rugby tackling a guy and just smacking the hell out of a paralysed man. But again, you justify how you can sleep at night, that's fine.
Called the double tap.
Regardless, Rag wasn't actually privy to all of this. He was quite intent on focusing on getting his own crystals, and once again he utilised his signature, we'll say, and unleashed a thunderwave within the cavern. Unfortunately for Rag, the cavern structure had already weakened due to Iyvak using thaumaturgy, was it? I'm assuming, to rumble everything.
I don't think it's called that, but
regardless,
it's a way of the river flower, isn't it?
Regardless, due to Iyvak weakening the structure with his rumbling, it did cause quite the cave-in as the roof started crumbling down upon all of them, and Rag's thunderwave decimated the majority, if not all, of the shop vendors. Because of this, they had to pretty much dash towards the elevator. You guys just managed to make it there after Iyvak saved Rag from a falling stalactite. Rag, you noticed as you were entering the elevator that Ilya was there, dropped to his knees in utter despair. The elevator ride down was a bit tense, we'll say, with Amrius and quite a few of the other members of the group displaying their distaste at what you guys did. However, because you've already now got to the mining area, you all decided to continue travelling together, and with Gregor leading the way, you searched quite a few different caverns. Unfortunately, Gregor did not know where he was going. So you all doubled back, but not before Rag. You found some more new mine crystals in carts, and again you felt that compulsion to take one. You couldn't resist that, so you did pick one up. And as you've made your way back to the entrance cavern, entrance chamber should I say, half the group have gone off, leaving you three, Raynor, Fu and Dravlan. And it is as you are all travelling to the west, following the rest of the group, that you've all noticed that there's quite a few tremors. Again, quite a few digging noises, quite a few kind of clacking noises. And after a little bit of tension, you realise that you have now come face to face with two large, imposing Umberhulks.
A peril.
Yes.
And that's where we join you all today, facing down these two large Umberhulks. So,
Right.
Elemental atonement. That was the
Okay.
one. That was the rumbling stone.
So retrospectively, I'll say that because Iyvak uses elemental atonement, that kind of helped Rag fuck up an entire civilization.
Yes.
Lovely people. Wouldn't mind returning one day.
He might have some trouble there. I don't even know if that elevator is working. You guys have not checked. But can I ask you all to roll me? I've forgotten the name of the roll. We're off to a great start.
Initiative.
Initiative. That's the one. You spend so
12.
long reading other stuff, you forget that. 12, you say?
22.
Oh, did we add something? Sorry.
Yes, if you've got
Initiative bonus,
14, sorry.
14. Rag, what was you again? Sorry.
22.
22. Iyvak.
Plus 4, 4, 5, 17.
17. Yep. Just rolling for these boys as well.
Do we have music?
We will, if you give me a second. Fortunately, I am just currently rolling everyone else's. Probably should have done this before we started, but that's not the authentic D&D experience if you don't wait 5 minutes for your DM to roll everything. Rag, what is your dex? Just your straight up dex.
15.
15. Okay. Okay. So our order of combat then is Rag, then Fu, then Umberhulk number 2, which is the one in the bottom left. Then we have Dravlan. Then we have Iyvak. Sorry, I'm just moving all of these across as I'm doing this. We have Dravlan, then we have Iyvak, then we have Gregor, then we have Raynor, and then finally the final Umberhulk. That is our order of combat for the day.
Peril.
Just about done. Sorry about this, guys. Okay, so Rag, we start with you.
Yes. Okay. So, I'm going to go straight in to Umberhulk number 1, actually.
Yeah. Umberhulk number 1 is
It's the top.
this chap up here.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
It's going to move up to here. And I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
So, go on.
No, I was just going to say, so what is that roll then that Umberhulk is going to have to do, I believe?
Wisdom save of 15.
15. Okay. Okay, so you kind of the second that this Umberhulk kind of and claws its way out, you notice it, and so you dash forward about 10 feet. You plant your feet down. What do you say to this Umberhulk?
Say, hey, Pincer, take this with a pinch of salt.
Just kind of clacks as it looks at you inquisitively as you shout that at it. What happens on a successful save?
Nothing.
Yeah, so it just kind of, it hears you say that and just looks a bit inquisitive at you, but yeah, nothing else.
All right.
Anything else that you want to do, or is that it for you this turn?
No, as a bonus action, I'd like to cast Bardic Inspiration onto Fu.
Yeah. So how are you doing that then?
Right, so a little tink on the top string of the lute.
Yeah.
Bring. Say, hey, Fu, coming your way.
So yeah, Fu, just after hearing this dink and that from you, Fu just feels inspired for a brief second. Glorious. Thank you.
Anytime. And I will... Yep, I'll end my turn there.
Okay. In which case, it is Fu's turn. So Fu, how much can you move, my friendo? So Fu, using all of his movement, is going to go straight up to the Umberhulk number 1. And he is going to just take a normal attack on this. Your words are kind of ringing through his ears as he makes his first attack. What D is it to add to attack again, sorry? Is it a D6 on this?
It's D8.
A D8 now?
Yeah.
Alright. So yeah, Fu kind of, after hearing you say that to him, after hearing, basically how you think he's got this, Fu dashes around the back of Iyvak. Iyvak, you look across and you see Fu just kind of dashing with his hand on his katana. As he reaches the Umberhulk, he swings 1 foot forward, and as he does, twists his body and unsheaths the katana. As he does, it kind of like just slices across the Umberhulk itself. The Umberhulk, in turn, just kind of reels back in pain and agony. As this katana cuts straight across its underside, the kind of like fleshy, soft underside of it, just kind of rears back, and you just hear so it screams out in pain.
Yes!
So next up, we have Umberhulk number 2. So that's this boy down here. So Umberhulk number 2 has noticed that Raynor is currently all open for an attack. So it kind of just lumbers itself over, going a lot slower than you'd imagine, but I think at this point in time all of you are still relatively shocked at this sudden confrontation. As it approaches Raynor, it raises a claw and it swipes down. Fortunately for Raynor though, he is able to just kind of like duck under. Raises another claw for another attack. And again, he just kind of rolls out of the way as this giant claw just swings down on him. Just kind of looks up at it and just laughs slightly. So we are now up to Dravlan. Our boy Dravlan, as you know, is not much of a fighter. So 5, 2. So he is going to try and pretty much just run into the next chamber. And that is as far as he can go at the moment.
Alright.
So Dravlan just he sees this giant Umberhulk take a swipe at Raynor, sees Fu attacking the other one, sees that basically both these monsters' attentions are caught, so he just starts dashing all the way across. But unfortunately at the moment he can't actually reach it. So Iyvak, we are up to you.
Okay. Is he actually facing towards Raynor?
At this moment he is, yes.
Oh, yeah. Alright, okay. Right. So, 5, 10, 15. I'm going to move there.
Okay, so you're kind of behind him then.
Yep, at an angle. I'm going to do a normal attack with my fist and then do a stunning strike after.
Okay, so how are you doing your normal attack then?
Just with my fist, normal.
Yeah, roll to hit then.
And the modifier is dexterity.
I believe so.
14.
Yeah. 14. So yeah, Iyvak seeing this Umberhulk attack Raynor, again you kind of dash around the back of it. It's like you're now kind of facing the back of its hide, and you just immediately instinctively swing a fist at it to kind of gauge how strong this opponent is. Unfortunately for you, it hits the back of its kind of like chitteny back, and it's just like a dull dung. Doesn't shift.
Okay. And as I do that, I'm going to power up my right fist for the stunning strike.
Yeah.
And 6.
So you pull back your fist and you feel vibrations of power just emanate through your fist. You pull back, you let go with your left hand, launch in with your other one, fully powered up by the stunning strike, and again though it just rings hollow. This Umberhulk isn't even reacting to you at this point in time. Doesn't even know that you're there, really.
Right, on this stunning strike, it says when you hit another creature,
Yeah.
You can spend 1 key point to attempt a stunning strike. So doesn't that mean I've got to hit him first?
I would say so, yes, actually.
So I've still got my key point, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. And
Yeah,
then,
that was just your second action then, I'm assuming, isn't it? Your
That's
second
right.
attack.
yeah, that's my extra attack that I get at 5th level. It's not a bonus action. So as a bonus, can I disengage and move away?
You can, yes. So yeah, after punching it out, I just punched my mic there. Glorious. Getting too into this. So after you kind of dash around and give it the old 1-2 to no avail, you realise, oh no. And yeah, before you can even notice that you're there, you've disengaged. And where are you moving to?
Right. Is that difficult terrain? Right, I'll go that way. 5, 10. There.
I was going to say, that would be difficult terrain where that stern is there.
Sorry, I went round it anyway.
Okay, so yeah, you disengage and you kind of just like retreat towards the top end of the cavern. So you are now around about 5 or 10 feet away from the trolleys that the mining carts that have all the new mine crystals in them. So yeah, you kind of like surveying the battle scene now, with the Umberhulk number 1 still fighting Fu and Umberhulk 2 still with its attention on Raynor. However, Gregor, we now come up to you.
Peril. Okay, I am going to move literally 5, 10, so about here. And I'm gonna shout out to Draflan. Will he be able to? You will be able to hear me at this point.
Yeah, from that distance. He's only about 25 feet away from you.
Draflan, are you gonna help us?
I'll let him have this as a response.
To attack would be against my creed. The Thunder would not like me to interfere with life and death.
Can you go and get help then? Try and get Bimit back here.
That was my intention.
Okay, great. Rag, who are you gonna go for?
I'm going to see this Umber down at the bottom.
This Umber down at the bottom. Right, okay.
Just to
Phone,
point
do
out,
you need help?
Just to point out, normally in combat, if you're going to speak to someone, you can speak to one person as not an extra action that takes it away, but kind of like as an additional one that doesn't cost anything. So if you want to start talking to everyone, that'll be your actual action.
Okay then.
Because 1 round represents 6 seconds.
Yeah. That's it, exactly. So if you're kind of bouncing around talking to everyone,
So what's
You're
your
talking
strategy?
very
What's your
fast.
strategy? What's your strategy? Right, okay.
I've been reading my books.
go
Right,
after
okay.
Iyvak.
Okay,
About time,
I'll take
2 years in.
I'll take that back what I said to Rag then.
So,
if I can.
yeah.
I'm just gonna cast a level. I'll cast a level 1 guiding bolt at him. At the
Okay.
Umberhulk 2.
Okay, so that's just a roll to hit then, isn't it? I
Yes,
believe?
it is. Yes.
Okay, so roll that dice.
Natural 20.
Hooray!
First one of the night. All right, roll that damage. Remember, roll it and double it.
Double it. Okay.
Yes.
1d8 plus 5.
Yeah.
Where's the d8? There it is. It's a 7. Plus 5 is 11. No, it's 12. Sorry. So 24.
24.
I thought I'd just
Oh, wait,
roll
no,
another
sorry.
d8.
Yeah, sorry, I've just realised I've done that wrong. Yeah, roll it twice. Sorry, discount that completely. Roll it twice.
Okay. Okay, so that first one was 12, and then the next one is a 6. So
And that's with plus 5 on the second roll as well, yeah?
yes.
Okay, so 12 and 6, 18.
18.
Okay.
Also, I've just realised, and the next attack roll made against this target before the end of your next turn has advantage.
Okay. So yeah, Gregor, you kind of like pass by Rag after shouting to Dravlan, and as you do, you kind of like just hold your hands together and you kind of start focusing inwards, and then before your very eyes you just hear like a of electricity is forming between your hands. You pull one hand back, so there's still more between the two hands. You launch your left hand forward, and there's just a sort of poof as this guiding bolt slams straight into the Umberhulk at the bottom. It hits directly into its shoulder, and it just kind of bows down, and it just lets out another as its focus is temporarily taken off of Raynor.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that, and that'll be my go done.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of smoke coming off of the Umberhulk at this moment in time. A little bit of a charred mark on it. At this, it is now Raynor's turn. So Raynor is going to take out his dagger. So Raynor is now pretty much in the thick of it with this Umberhulk boy. So he's going to take out his dagger and just try and make a slash across his like underside. Unfortunately, he's still kind of being caught off guard by this Umberhulk just kind of bum rushing him, and although it's missed him with its two claw attacks, it has managed to kind of like just raise another arm down as Raynor slashes across, and it just dinks off the side of it. And that is Raynor's turn.
The hides be thick.
What's up?
I've done that.
Sorry, just 1 second. Joe, you alright?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just turned out I did the stats for cure wounds instead of guiding bolt, which should have been 4d6. I am so...
Oh my god. Okay, so what we're gonna do...
Oh,
What was that? That was 18?
yes.
How many d6 was it? 4d6?
4d6.
How many did you roll? You rolled...
I just rolled 2 d8s because I got...
Wait. If it's 4d6, is that at level 1 or level...
That's at level 1.
That's at level 1. Okay, so you rolled 18. Give me 1 second to reset this guy's damage. This is the only time I'm allowing this, by the way.
Thank you.
Roll the damage.
Okay, 4d6.
I'm not going to describe it any differently. It still hits its shoulder and shit like this.
Okay. So the first one's 4.
Okay. I'm gonna love it so much
6.
less.
10.
20.
11. And that's all 4. But I also got a natural 20, didn't I?
Yeah, so roll them again.
So I'm on 11.
Is that that was 11? Yeah.
11, so 14 now I'm on.
14. Yeah.
14, 18.
Yeah.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And then one more. 3. 26 altogether.
Well, you've put me in a bit of a bad situation here because that's 57 points of damage. Yep, that is 57 points of damage. So if I take 57 away from him...
What was that used?
That was guiding bolt. It just I was using cure wounds instead, just above it, which is 1d8 plus 5.
Actually, no, this still works. This still works.
57 points damage. Is that what's come off it?
Yep, 4d6 times... Well, 8d6 technically.
No, because he's 20.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a natural 20.
That's fine. You've not killed it, and it's still in an acceptable margin for the entire... You know, there's just smoke rising off of it at this point in time. Didn't you say that they also get advantage?
Yes,
attacking?
also. And the next attack roll made against this target before the end of your
It doesn't matter. It still didn't fucking do all. Alright. Okay. So yeah, Raynor goes for his attack with his dagger, but unfortunately this Umberhulk just kind of lowers its arm just in time to just dink off the side of it. And we are now up to Umberhulk 1's turn. So this is this chap up here who is currently fighting Fu. So he's just kind of, this Umberhulk has just kind of come out of his, you know, like a little cave and he's doing just fine until Fu attacked him. So to begin with, he is going to raise up a claw, slash down, but unluckily for the Umberhulk and luckily for Fu, as it slashes down, Fu just raises his blade and the claw just kind of clasps onto it, gets deflected off. Uses the other one, swiping up from low, and Fu just kind of casually sidesteps it. This Umberhulk is getting a bit more angry now. Again, you can just hit as its pincers start tapping each other quite angrily. It raises its head, just lets out like and attempts to bite down on Fu. And it does. It kind of like lowers its mandibles down and just as Fu steps to the side and just kind of digs in on both ends. You just kind of hear like a ugh as Fu is taking a bit of damage from that. So yeah, these mandibles come down and pierce Fu on both sides. And sorry, 1 second. Yeah, you see kind of like blood just kind of spurt out of Fu's shoulders as these mandibles kind of pierce him. However, that does mean that we are now back up to you, Rag.
Yes. Right, I want to try something a little bit tricky.
Tricky is what we do, go for it.
Tricky is what we do. So I'm going to move Rag. Yeah, that'll put me 15 feet away, won't it?
It will, yes, and its focus is still currently on Fu, because it's still got his mandibles in Fu's shoulders.
Yes. So what I ideally would like to do is whip out this tentacle rod.
Yeah.
I want to aim all 3 tentacles at him.
Yeah.
But instead of doing this for damage, because what happens is when it hits him, it deals bludgeoning damage. So I'm not sure whether them tentacles hit him and then bounce off him to deal that damage, or whether they actually stick to him.
Right.
Because with them being tentacles, I would have thought that they'd be able to stick.
What is it that you're trying to do exactly?
So if they won't stick to him, I'd rather use the rods to wrap around him. So what I want to do is I want to wrap one rod around his bottom leg, another one around his other leg, and then one around like his torso. So I can essentially use the rod as a restraint to stop him from moving, or I can at least direct him to where I would like, instead of just focusing on the damage itself and then having the tentacles retract back to me.
So generally that's not how that works, but it can do that. I'm going to say it can do that. It will be a grapple check though. So if you roll a grapple check contested against its strength, but use the modifier from the tentacle rod.
Okay. So am I doing 3? Doing it for all 3 of the tentacles?
Per one, yeah.
Alright. Okay, let's go ahead for the first one then.
Yeah. So which one are you aiming for with this one?
This is the bottom leg.
Yeah, so right, you kind of just make your way across. Its focus is fully on Fu at this moment in time, so it's not looking at you, you're averting your gaze at its eyes. You whip back your tentacle rod and you let it loose with the first tentacle for its lower leg.
Yeah. That is a 17 for the first.
Okay. Let me just roll something else. So you let go with the first one, and it immediately kind of like just flicks out, whips out, just wraps itself around the leg of this Umberhulk, and you hear like a as these suckers on the tentacles kind of stick to each other. It tries pulling against for a second, but then it slips, falls to the floor. You now have advantage on your next 2 grapple checks.
Okay. Right, second one then.
Yeah, so the other one, almost in tandem, but like a split second later, whips out, and it's going for...
So 26, the bottom leg.
So you get
This is- I do get advantage, yes. I do. 26 on the bottom leg.
So is this the other leg as well then? Sorry.
Yeah, this is the other leg, yeah.
So as it kind of like hits the floor with a... your second tentacle rod just links itself around the leg. And your last one, where is this one going for?
This one is going around the torso, so around the body.
Yes, okay.
I am going to use my point of inspiration to re-roll that.
Yeah.
So that is 28.
Okay, give me 1 second. $28, you say?
Yes.
So again, this tentacle rod whips out, and it struggles a little bit more this time, as it's now having to kind of snake underneath the Umberhulk itself, which is already prone on the floor. But it takes a little bit of doing, but again, you just hear a single as one of the tentacle suckers attaches. It is now prone and grappled.
Nice. Is that all three? That the first one failed, didn't it?
No, the first one succeeded. The first
Okay.
one succeeded a lot compared to the other one.
Okay. So if all three tentacles hit, it must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
Yes, it must. What's can't roll. Yeah, it's gonna fail that, as it's kind of like on the floor, just like completely pinned by these tentacles, holding it down essentially. Yeah, even if it gets up, it's going to be a lot slower. And it's not going to be able to react. And it's not going to be too great reacting to stuff that involves it dodging.
Yes.
I was going to say, I've got that loaded up as well. So, yes. But at this moment in time, it is prone and grappled at the same time. So,
Right.
For you personally, Rag, you can still move at half your speed while you've got it kind of grappled using your tentacle rod. You can attack and cast a spell. You can move with the creature as well, but yeah, you're going to be at half speed.
Right. Okay, that's fine. I was going to shout out, "I've got him!
Got him on the line.
Got him on the line."
He's a biggie.
That classes my action right there.
Yes, it does.
Would you say I've got tension in this rod?
I would. Yeah, because it's currently on the floor, so you're kind of stood above, so it's tense.
Would you allow me a bonus action to dash?
No, because your dash action takes your action. If you dash, you can't attack and stuff like that, so unfortunately not.
Right, okay. So the only bonus action I could do again would be Bardic Inspiration. Do you know what? No, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to hang fire here, keeping tension on this.
Okay. So next up then.
Does it... Am I dealing the damage for this?
No, because you
No,
wanted
that's
to...
fine.
I was going to say you wanted to grapple.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just double checking how grapple fully affects something. Because it's been a while since I've obviously had to deal with grappling.
It's got a few disadvantages on it now.
If it's restrained, it does. If it's grappled, it can't move, basically. It can't get any bonus to its speed. That seems to be the main one.
Disadvantage on the dexterity saving
Oh,
throws.
yes, of course. It's got that as well because of its of the tentacle rod. That's a good point, actually. Let me just make some notes here for him. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't even have half its movement at the moment. It's got 0 movement whilst it's restrained. I mean, to be fair, actually, yeah, technically this creature is currently restrained because it's on the floor. So that also means attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and it has disadvantage on its own attacks. As long as it's down on the floor. So next up then, we have Fu. And Fu, seeing this creature down on the floor, just kind of like struggling and writhing, he's just going to take another slash attack. Just a straight up normal strike. And with it being on the floor already, it's not really going to take much for it to hit. So he's just kind of like stood over this creature, and he kind of spins his katana so it's like pointing down, just stabs it straight into it. As it stabs straight into it, you see that it is starting to the blade itself is starting to glow like a kind of dark reddy hue, and it's kind of like coming from his hand, going down the blade itself, and it seems to be almost going into the actual creature itself. And this creature starts screaming quite loudly as it takes a fair bit more damage to it. So it's now on the floor, shrieking in pain. It's unable to even clack its mandibles together as this kind of red writing in hue starts spreading across this creature. We're now up to Umberhulk 2's turn, who is up here. So this one is still... It was currently attacking Raynor, but after taking quite a bit of damage from Gregor, it just kind of whips its head around and starts lumbering over towards where Gregor is. Unfortunately, that does mean that allows Raynor... Well, unfortunately for it, it means that Raynor is able to take an attack of opportunity, and as this creature...
he gets advantage as well.
He does. As this creature kind of like starts turning around and lumbering towards you, Gregor, Raynor just notices his chance, jumps up with his dagger and just stabs it straight into the side where its shoulder is. Lethal. As he jumps up and stabs this dagger into the shoulder of the Umberhulk, some kind of like bright viscousy yellow blood kind of just squirts out, but it shrugs it off, although its arm is now hanging a little bit more limp. Still got control over it, but it's kind of now just lumbering towards you, Gregor. It raises one arm, the arm that wasn't attacked by Raynor, swings it down. Will a 17 hit?
Yeah, just.
So it like lifts its arm and just swings it down. As it swings it down onto you, it takes 12 points of slashing damage as it kind of like just immediately hits the top of your armor and scrapes down.
Okay.
Seeing that damage that it's caused you emboldens it a bit, so it now it takes another second or so, but it raises its other arm, the one that was damaged by Raynor, slams it down again. But unfortunately, the damage done by Raynor is quite extensive to this arm, so it just kind of raises it about 3/4 of the way and tries to slash, but it's easy for you to step out of the way.
Well, is that all you've got?
That's going to be its go at the moment. It's in a little bit too much pain to really focus at this point in time. So now we're up to Dravlan. Dravlan, he kind of looks at you guys and sees the fact that they're both of these Umberhulks are a bit worse for wear.
I see that you guys have this handled, but I shall find the others.
Yes, that's fine. I'm guessing if I hear him.
Yeah, you can hear him from that distance. Rag and Iyvak, you find it a bit more difficult to hear him, but everyone else can. So, with that, we are now up to you, Iyvak.
Okay. Right. I'm going to move in. 5, 10. Is he still prone, Umberhulk? 1.
Umberhulk 1 is still prone, is restrained. He's kind of being pulled. So he's pulled so that his face is facing directly upwards. Because Rag pulled him onto his back.
Right, okay. I'm gonna... Yeah, alright. I'm going 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna... Yeah. Oh yeah, because I still do stunning strike. Yeah, alright. I'm going to attack, then doing an extra attack. And if it hits with the extra attack, do stunning strike.
Okay, are you doing this with your eyes open or closed? Because it is facing directly up at you.
Oh, I didn't think it'd be an issue really, because it was on the floor. So I was
You're going to have to be looking down to attack it. If you close your eyes...
Am I going to see its eyes?
I mean, if you're looking down to attack it, then yeah, because it's literally laid right there in front of you. If someone is on their back on the floor and you punch down at them, if you're looking down to attack, you're going to see their eyes.
It's up to you then, because...
It's your call. You can either attack with your eyes open, and you'll have to make the saving throw of DC 15 Charisma, or you can close your eyes and it just takes your advantage away. Because with it being restrained on the floor, you have advantage. So it's either do a DC saving throw with your eyes open, or just do a normal attack with your eyes closed.
I'm going to do a DC saving throw, I think.
Alright, so yeah, you've got your eyes open, you're posed right above it, raising an arm back, ready to strike it. Roll that charisma saving throw then, please.
Charisma. $18.
18, wonderful. In which case, yeah, as you look down and you're about to punch it, you feel like a compulsion in your head as you look into its tiny little beady eyes. You feel a compulsion to stop, but then your monk training is serving you well, really. You kind of just brush off this feeling. So how do you attack him again? As you're looking down on him?
Again, 2 fists primed. Sorry, one's got an axe. The one without the axe, I'm going to thump. And I'm just going to... I'm not too proud to hit a bug when it's down. Smack.
Roll to attack then. Roll with advantage.
Oh, nat 20. I didn't even need it.
Yeah, go for it. Roll your damage then.
1d6 plus 4.
And roll it twice. Yeah, so roll 1d6 plus 4 and then another 1d6 plus 4.
So that's 5.
Yeah. Is that with your plus 4 as well?
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
Oh.
10. So 11 in total.
Yeah. So yeah, you did you say that you were just literally punching down on him?
Yeah, just the left fist. Smack.
So you punch down on him, straight down, and your fist connects directly with its face. You just manage to miss its 2 mandibles. Instead, you hit like directly in between it. You hear a sickening crunching noise as this yellow goop just splashes out. This guy is not looking too great at the moment.
Okay, well, I've done that. I've charged up my axe hand. I'm going to come down with the axe hand. Smack.
Roll again with advantage.
16.
So yeah, you raise your hand axe and you swing it down with intent, but as you do, you do make contact, but you hit the only part of its underbelly that is this chitin armor, and again it just kind of dink off the top of it.
Right, okay. Right, he's grappled in his I assume he doesn't have this opportunity of attack then?
He does not at this point in time, no.
Right, gonna quickly swivel the axe behind me, get my fist ready. I go in with a bonus action of Flurry of Blows then.
Yeah, go for it.
Are these advantages?
Yeah, these have got advantage too. All attacks made on it while it's incapacitated has advantage.
16. So first one's 17.
So unfortunately, yeah, you kind of spin your axe back, you go to hit it again, but you just manage to miss. Kind of like shifts its form ever so slightly.
Christ.
So
it's an 18.
It pretty much grazes it.
Seven?
Was that with advantage?
No, it wasn't, was it?
No.
No.
Every attack, remember, has advantage while it's incapacitated.
8?
So after just grazing it, you kind of like pull your fist back and just jab out in anger, just anger and frustration that you can't hit this prone creature. You miss by a mile, and your fist just kind of like embeds itself in the ground almost, just like a poof. Load of dust and dirt come up as you hit the ground. Is it just 2 attacks that you have with your flurry of blows?
Yeah, 2 attacks on Flurry as a bonus. Yeah. But I can, because he can't do attack of opportunity, I can move away 10 paces.
Yes, that's correct. He's incapacitated, he's prone, he is unable to do anything.
Right, I'm just basically back to them.
Okay, in which case, yeah, so you, after hitting the ground and this plume of dust that comes up, you decide it's probably best to just retreat back to where the carts are. Or to the entranceway, sorry, leading up north. So, Gregor, we are now back up to you.
Right.
Back down to you. You're contending with Umberhulk 2.
Right. I've still got advantage on that, on this one, don't I? Yeah, I still have got advantage on this one. So I am literally just gonna...
Oh yeah, because it's until the end of your go, isn't it?
Yeah, until the end of my go. I'm literally gonna pull out my quarterstaff and just gonna give it just a quick, like, hit into the head.
Yeah, go for a roll to hit.
Yeah, 17 doesn't hit, does it?
Unfortunately not.
Doesn't he have to
advantage,
do a
sorry.
thingy saving throw?
Oh shit! No, that's a very good point. Yes, please roll a Constitution check.
Constitution check.
Constitution save. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was just checking another thing to see if this would be valid or not, but it doesn't matter.
Sorry, Joe.
It is fine. Was it a con save? Was it again?
Yes.
Okay, so con.
Charisma.
19.
Sorry, charisma, not con.
Oh. Still 19.
Yeah, so as you whip the quarterstaff around, you at first you again feel like there's compulsion not to attack it, but then you just immediately shake this off very easily.
Right. Shall I re-roll them again, or do you want
to... Just roll to hit.
Okay. With advantage, so 16. So that was lucky, that was a nat 1. 16 plus 7, so 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
So yeah, tell me how you attack him then, how you hit him with this quarterstaff.
Basically, I just get the... No, to be honest, actually, I just get this quarterstaff and I'm just looking directly at him. I'm just thinking, yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to go just with like a back swing straight into its head.
Okay, roll that damage then, please.
That is... It's just like 1d6 plus 4. Tom, also, I've got... On here, I've got 1d6 plus 4, but then underneath it is 1d8 plus 4.
So that's if you two-hand it, I believe.
Ah, right. Okay, so it'll be 1d6 then.
Yeah.
That is a 4 plus 4, so that's 8.
So yeah, you pull out this quarterstaff and you kind of like just backhand with the length of the quarterstaff just connecting underneath the chin of this Umberhulk, and it just connects with a sickening as it kind of like hits the bottom of the chin and just whips it across. You hear a loud cracking noise, and again a spurt of this viscous yellow blood just kind of splays out across the cabin walls and the cabin floors. His head is still raised up and backwards, but it's not falling over just yet.
Right, yeah, and that'll be the end of my go.
Okay, so we are now back up to Raynor then. Raynor, seeing this chance of weakness, is going to move right behind it. And he's just kind of like flicking his little dagger around as he kind of bum rushes it from behind. He kind of like dashes through underneath its leg, and as he does, he kind of like just scrapes the dagger across the knees. Yeah, he scrapes the dagger across the knees and ends up pretty much next to you, Gregor. And yeah, he ends up pretty much right next
There's
to you.
no longer
on this
advantage on that creature, by the way.
there was for that because he was flanking. But he ends up like pretty much next to where you are. But you see that the runes are starting to glow. There's some runes that are basically on his dagger up the hill and on the blade itself, and it kind of almost looks like it absorbs the blood slightly. And you see like this little crackle of arcane energy spread from the dagger down into his legs, and again you just see him dash forward, kind of like a little doomph as he dashes forward to attack again through the legs. However, this time, unfortunately, he isn't really successful. He kind of dashes back through after taking a swipe. He ends up directly behind it and just
Still not used to this.
looking at the dagger. And that is his go. We are up to Umberhulk number 1, who is currently not having the best of times, laid on its back, restrained down. Would be just another typical Friday night for it, but Umberhulk can't like that. So it is going to roll a strength check to try and get out of this with disadvantage. Rag, can you roll me a strength check to combat that, please?
Save or
Just a check. This would be a save for it's contested, so
16.
yeah. So at first it looks like it's kind of like it's trying to push its way up. You just see its mandibles just like really irately going for it, and it seems like it's pushing itself up at first. But Rag, you almost like you're reeling in a fish. You just feel the line go taut, and you just yank it down. Just falls with another onto the floor.
Keep it down, Rag.
Rag, we are up to you. You're kind of like fucking fighting with this Umberhulk like it's a giant fish.
I think what's best for me then is, so I was going to do something with risk in tethering this.
I was going to say, remember, you can attack one hand, like as long as you've got one hand free, you can attack.
I'm thinking, yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll hold my position where I am.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw the hand axe that I've had enchanted. Which will, not anything special, but it emanates a bright light when thrown.
Okay.
Yeah, one-handed. So I want to keep the tension on this.
Yeah.
Just get another wrap around my arm, I suppose. I want to try and get it just underneath his head and through his throat. If there's any soft spot there.
There will be, but can I just quickly ask what your passive perception is, please? Because it's currently on the floor. You're currently stood above it, so I just need to check something.
What are you asking for again? Passive perception?
Passive perception.
Okay, yes. That is a 10.
So, unfortunately, similar to Iyvak then, with his check before, you can either close your eyes and throw it so that your advantage is gone and it's just a straight up normal roll, or you can roll a charisma check. Because where you are at the moment, you will be looking at its eyes because of the height difference with it being on the floor.
Do I get to roll my charisma with advantage?
No.
No.
No, it's not a roll to attack, it's a save, is that, I'm afraid.
Would I be a rolling charisma save?
Yes, it would be a charisma save.
I'll roll a charisma save then.
Yep, go for it. Roll your save.
19.
As you pull your hand axe back and it kind of like twinkles with the glow of something magical, and you're holding taut with the tentacle rod, you lock eyes with this pitiful creature for a split second. For a split second you feel your resolve falter ever so slightly, and then it hardens again after you remember that it was trying to kill you all. So roll your dex with advantage. Go throw in this.
$19.
Roll your damage then, please.
6 damage. Slashing.
6. Okay. So yeah, as you pull back, you launch with the dagger, with the axe. Well, forgot the name for an axe then. There's not that much distance. There's only 10 feet between you, so there's not much time for it to really gain speed and rotation. But in this semi-dark cavern, just lit by the few crystals that are in the corner, there is still a lot of there's a lot of dark patches, especially where you guys are fighting. The only kind of light being the ambient light from these crystals in the far corner. So you let go of the hand axe and it just a quick 2 spins, lights up the entire area just for a brief second before straight into the throat of the Umberhulk. As it hits its throat, it just It is still alive, but it is not doing well at all at this point. It's just kind of like blood is oozing out. It's
Bonus action then.
Yep.
Bardic inspiration straight onto Fu.
Okay, how are you inspiring him again?
I've got this around my thing. I've just thrown this. Is this hand axe making its way back to me?
No, because you just threw it
okay.
to embed it. Unfortunately, this hand axe doesn't have any magical properties to allow it to return to you, just to light up the place.
I was just double checking.
Nice try. Nice try.
Do something really cool with it, but it's okay. I'm gonna have to go underneath my own arm then and just flick that straight at the top there. Alright, straight over to Fu.
Fu doesn't even quite realise what's going on. He just hears this ding and this bright irradiating light again. You see, he doesn't respond, but he just side of his face.
He feels it.
Slightly.
He knows what it is. He feels
he has a slight grin, and on that, then he is going to shut his eyes. He feels this warmness wash over him, and he shuts his eyes. D8, you say, yes?
Yes.
He shuts his eyes and plunges the katana down, and it goes straight into the chest, like straight just below the armor piercing. The armor plating of its chitin. Just another into it, and struck my dice. And as it does, as this blade plunges into it, you just hear another as blood spurts up from the wound, and its arms, which was still struggling and like trying to raise itself up, just fall flat to the floor.
Yes.
Nice.
With this boy now perishing. So yeah, Umberhulk 1 is now out for the count.
Brilliant.
So at
Got
that,
one more.
was going to say, seeing that, Fu is just going to immediately... He's going to start making his way. So he plunges the katana in, draws it out, spins it, just turns, and starts running towards Umberhulk 2, where Raynor and Gregor are currently fighting. Umberhulk 2, at this point in time, trying to take on 2 people, now almost 3 people. It notices that things haven't gone too well with its Umberhulkian brethren over there, with it being quite loud in its demise. So what it is going to do is it kind of like looks at you, Gregor, clicks its mandibles again, and jumps. It actually jumps in the air slightly before facing downward with its mandibles just going quicker, its arms outstretched, looking like it's going to start burrowing. Both you and Raynor have an attack of opportunity though at this point.
Yep.
So, would you like to roll your attack of opportunity?
Yep. I'll
You
roll
do
it.
have-
Go on.
Sorry, let me just roll your first one, please. Just need to check if flanking counts for attack of opportunity. I can't remember if it does. What's your first roll though, just in case it does not?
I'm attacking with my quarterstaff, and that is a 10.
10, okay. Yes, I believe that you will have advantage on that.
Lovely.
It's all attacks.
That's not going to be enough. 15.
So yeah, it kind of like jumps down, and you swing your quarterstaff across, and you just miss it. It literally just passes underneath your quarterstaff. And as you do, Fu also swipes down, and Raynor swipes down. But unfortunately, he is also unsuccessful with this. You again, it dives down and starts scrabbling and burrowing, just like before it leaves like a 5-foot wide hole in its wake. I'll just draw that on now. Yeah, so it leaves a hole here, big enough for you all to fit in. It takes another second before just kind of scrabbling its way back out, and ends up very close to where the carts are with the other new mine crystals. But that will be its go. And we are now... Gravelin's gone, so we're up to Iyvak.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to stand there.
Yep.
It's going to pay off eventually. I'm going to attack, and then extra attack with a stunning strike, hopefully with the axe.
Okay. So yeah, roll your first attack then.
There's no advantage on this. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
So how are you attacking him?
This would be left hand without the axe, so basically just a nice quick smack.
Yeah, so you dash towards it, and as you kind of like slow down, you have a quick jab out, but unfortunately you're still travelling. You've not quite stopped, so your punch isn't that accurate, and it just kind of glances off the side of it.
Okay, and then I'm just going to come in with the axe, which will be natural 20.
So tell me how you attack it with the axe.
Well, I was just going to rather uninspiringly just come in.
Yeah, fair enough. Roll your damage then.
Okay.
Obviously roll it twice.
Right, okay. Oh, which is D6. So, slashing this, isn't it? So
Yeah, so it'll be your d6 plus whatever, and then roll your d6 again plus whatever.
So, that's 5.
Yep.
Why can't I do mask? 3 out of 4.
7.
7.
7. So 5 on
okay.
7.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
Hey! Oh my god! I killed an Umberhulk!
And this is an uninspired one as well. We're gonna do it uninspired now.
Oh, I got him stunned and all. Well, alright.
I mean, dead is a kind of stunned, I guess.
Okay, well, yeah, come in with it, and I suppose right when I'm about to hit it, I'm going to do a real cocky swivel around, so it's like backwards, and hook it under its jaw, and then rip off.
Yeah, so you spin it, and you, as you say, you hook up, and you straight up its jaw, and you pretty much kind of like bisect this Umberhulk into, just like it takes a second for it to realise what it's had happened to it, and it just kind of like opens its maw to kind of like scream again, but as it does, it goes, and it just kind of falls to one side on either side.
And then I'm just going to get the axe and go. And put it back.
Yeah, you spin it around a couple of times, a couple of nice little flourishes before holstering it back, and yeah, that second Umberhulk now has perished as well. So well done, guys. You have
Yes.
killed both Umberhulks.
I'm going to put that to my death tally. Umberhulk.
So yeah, with this, with the Umberhulk, with the second Umberhulk being slain, killed. We'll go with killed. With that one now being vanquished, that's a better one. Silence kind of resumes on the mining floor. Welcome back to the second part of this session. So the last we left you guys, you had just finished taking out 2 large Umberhulks.
Right.
Yes, we did.
Well, I took one of them.
Well, you know, here's a group effort, I think.
Give that a kill.
Right, can I cast Cure Wounds as well, please?
Yeah, go for it.
Right, so that's second level. Sorry. So I just roll.
Yes.
2d8 plus 6. 6. 6 and 7 is 13. 13
Let's
so
say
19.
Iyvak I could do with a short rest.
19 heal. Ah, yes, back up to.
Go on then.
Whenever we can get one.
Oh, is this in game?
Yes!
No, thanks, alright.
Just take 5. Just need a quick break.
Sorry, I'm on a pasta high. I've just had pasta.
Pasta high.
So, yeah, what is the healing word of the day today then, Gregor?
Bones heal.
With that, you feel an irradiating light cover you and warmth, and your bones heal.
Ah, back up to 100%.
Aye, rest may be handy, but I'm not sure these are safe grounds to be snoozing.
No, I don't think so. I think we need to find the others.
Fu, do you need healing?
So Fu just kind of walks over to you and just places his hand on your shoulder. No, I'm good for now.
Alright, that's alright.
Can
Rena, you alright?
Can I just... Is there anything on the corpse?
Roll me a survival check to loot the corpse. What were you saying, sorry, Gregor?
Rena, do you need healing at all?
Nah, not a scratch on me.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Has anybody seen Draftland?
He ran into the tunnels to get the others, if I remember rightly.
Ah, well, he's not back. So do you reckon we should?
Well, I mean, to be
Here,
fair,
or
it's only
go
been
look
about
in-
20 seconds since he ran away.
Fair point.
I think we should just go through where they went.
I think we should.
I got 21 on that. My survival's +5.
You know? Okay.
Just doing more survival stuff.
Let's have a look. See. So, what did you get again? Sorry.
21.
Okay, so how are you trying? What exactly are you trying to look for on this?
Well, I like the fact it's got the eyes that does the thing, or the mandible.
With that roll, I will let you choose which ones you're wanting.
The mandible.
Okay, so you kind of crouch down on, I'm assuming the one that's right in front of you then, Umberhulk 2, or what was Umberhulk 2. So yeah, you crouch down next to Umberhulk 2 and you get your axe out and you kind of like just reach forward to its face and pull on one of the mandibles. You get your axe and you just rip off one mandible, rip off the other mandible. So you now have 2 Umberhulk mandibles. There is a bit of Umberhulk blood flowing from the wounds that you've inflicted and from where you've torn off the mandibles as well. If you've got any containers or anything like that, you'd be able to probably cap some.
Okay, yes, I'll do that for my alchemy.
Okay, what containers are you using?
Hang on, just let me write mandible. Right, I have got a few things. I've got a tinderbox.
That's not a...
No?
No.
Water skin?
Yeah, it won't fill the water skin, but you can put it into the water skin. You can get about 3 vials worth, you would say.
Yes, I'll have to pour the water out though.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of like uncork the water bottle, just like a boom, and bloop, 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 as this water is falling onto the floor, and you kind of like put the water skin underneath the exposed wounds of this Umberhulk, and yeah, it fills it up maybe about a quarter.
Umberhulk
Blood. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, what do you plan on doing with that, Iyvak?
I do not know until I try.
Fair enough.
I'm going to put the mandibles back in my backpack. I've decided to try my hand at a bit of alchemy and whatnot.
Alchemy.
Interesting.
Aye. So,
Yeah.
as a novice, I just collect what I can. I'm sure it'll become handy somehow. And if
Yeah,
not,
I'm really excited about this. Really excited.
what, that I'm doing alchemy?
Yes, I've always thought you should do alchemy.
I'm very encouraged you get excited about one of my endeavours. Right.
Alchemy? Of course I'm encouraged. Inspired.
Well, I say. Today is a shock, isn't it?
just look at Gregor and just with a
With a what, sorry?
I give a night lord.
with the eye.
Oh, Christ, that type of eye. Oh, no.
and I'm not going to see that. I'd still be all chuffed. Man.
You just think, oh, well, finally my friend, these guys are finally my friends and they, believe in me at last.
Rather encouraging. Oh, does warm the heart.
Right, can I head towards where Dravland's gone?
Yes, so that is the west. That's the west exit, or west
So
entrance.
I'm just gonna be there, just waiting for
Okay.
everyone else.
If everyone else is following, then we don't really need to keep on moving our people. Just like tell me where they are and stuff like that, and I'll just
Oh, okay.
drag. However, where you are at the moment.
Oh, I need to before I move off. I need to approach this dead Umberhulk and untether my tentacle rod.
Yeah, so yeah, you approach this Umberhulk, and as you approach it and the lines go more and more slack, you can feel the tentacles themselves just kind of like pop off again, and just kind of and retract back, so they're back with you.
I will sheath it and off I go around with you guys.
Okay, so yeah, where you guys currently are, you can see basically that there is a small finished tunnel and what appears to be another crystal embedded into the wall. It looks like you can either, once you reach there, you can either continue upwards, or you can either continue where you are or turn.
Can I just go up to where that is and just have a look in both ways?
You can indeed. So yeah, Gregor, you kind of like make your way up. Again, there's no real sounds or movement or anything, but as you start approaching this crystal itself, and things start getting slightly more into view, you do see that pretty much right in front of you where the crystal is itself stands Traveller. Just kind of like a little bit out of breath. And to the northeast, is another kind of like lead-off point.
Dravelan. There you are.
It's good to see you all. I would presume that with you all joining me so fast, the Umberhulks, they were not any issue to you all.
There were a problem, but we managed to solve it.
Could hold up the mandibles in front of me.
Okay, yeah, so guys, you have pretty much you've met back up with Dravelan, basically. To the top left, the northeast, there's another chamber leading outwards, and to your immediate northwest, where Dravelan himself is, so up here, is another thin columnway entryway. You can't really see around it, though.
Okay.
Dravelan,
Yes,
where was you heading?
I was going to continue up this path.
Do you know where the other party is?
No, I do not. I was hoping that they'd be up here.
Alright, fair enough.
Do we want to split up here or stay as a group?
I'm happy going up. North. Or northeast.
I mean, I'm fine with that. If everyone wants to do it, it's fine.
I'll tell you what, Few and Rayna, they follow Dravelan, if you're happy with that.
I was just going to head up the area I was going anyway.
That's fine. Few, Rayna?
We've been traveling for like 2 weeks and you've forgotten my name. Gregory.
Apologize.
Unfortunately, it's because everybody loves Raymond.
What, do you two want to follow Draftland?
Well, where are you going? Which direction are you going?
We'll go northeast.
Well, I must say, I think it's rather rude of our companions to just go gallivanting off like that, especially as the danger we have just had to.
Yeah, it's not very professional, is it?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Emrius Reap said that we should all stick together.
As you're saying this, Fu just kind of continues walking, so he's now going up the northeast section, as Rayna's starting to follow him, and Dravelan is also. But as he passes by, he just kind of says, I'm fairly sure that he said before that, or at least his son did, They don't really have time to wait for people who struggle behind. You look after yourself, you protect yourself type of thing. I'm fairly sure he's mentioned it a few times, and...
Oh, indeed.
Well, as for the danger that we've just faced...
Screw him then.
I must have forgotten.
Every man for himself. Agreed.
It
Right,
seems
guys.
like that, yes.
Shall we go west?
Well, we'll go west then. I don't know where you're going, Rag.
Yeah, so at that, Fu just kind of nods at you all. I suppose we'll see you, well, if we find anything up this route, we'll come back and grab you.
That's fine.
Travlan's just kind of running after him. Raynor just kind of turns back.
Just make sure you don't fucking die. Or if you see any more of those yellow-skinned bastards, let me know.
Do as you will.
Will do.
So, yeah, they just kind of run off into the darkness. Very tempted to start singing the song.
Oh, well, it's just us three. I'll get a bit. You know what, comrades? They are beginning to test my nerves, these people.
Hey, we're here for a job. That's it.
Exactly.
As long as we find the plinths, that's all we care about.
Yes, we're here now. I say we focus on the task we're here for, and stop getting sidetracked by these companions that seem to make the rules as they go.
Here.
Welcome.
Here.
So, you guys are going to continue heading up this route, I'm guessing then, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. So as you head up, as you continue passing through the tunnels themselves, you see basically that there is another minecart full of new mine crystals. As you're passing by a particularly tight squeeze, essentially, you see that there are more new mine crystals that are embedded in the cavern walls themselves. Yeah, so the second you have that crystal back around your neck, Rag, any feelings of compulsion have gone. For a split second, there was quite a few feelings of compulsion there.
That's much better.
Yeah.
So yeah, you are now currently basically in another small little... It's not even quite an opening yet, it's still just the tunnel that's leading around. As you guys continue making your way through the tunnel itself, again, you see that the cavern walls kind of expand and contract at various points. As you're continuing heading down, there's more and more of these mine carts basically full of new mine crystals.
I say, Gregor, would you like me to take that rope off you for a while?
You're more than happy to. Can I just hand him the infinity rope? Infinite rope, should I say?
Yes, I didn't know that you were currently had it out at that point in time.
Oh yeah, I just had it just while I was exploring.
Okay, yeah, then in which case, yeah, you give the infinity knot to Iyvak quite handily.
Just put it on my shoulder and let it keep tangling out.
Yep, it keeps on getting caught every so often, just snagged on itself, but yeah, you do manage to unfurl it quite easily.
Alright. Yeah, I just keep wandering up.
Yep.
No sign of... I was going to say, is there any footprints on the floor?
Roll investigation.
Natural 20.
There's quite a few...
No. I was hoping for a natural 20. Investigation, you said?
Yes, I said investigation.
15.
There's quite a few sets. Not quite, maybe not quite as much as, you know, if you had got a natural 20. But yeah, there are quite a few sets on the floor itself. There's some quite deeper ones indicating other people with quite a lot of weight to them. There's a human type of footprint which is quite deep, so it looks like a very heavy set human.
I was going to say, does this look recent as well?
Recent-ish, yeah. Last couple of minutes.
I think we're on the right track, boys. And I'll just keep travelling up.
I feel a moral dilemma then.
What's up,
Well, I was quite happy for us three to go and fight the fray and whatnot, like all on our lonesomes, because I believe we are capable of it. But we've just let them three go off on their own, and if they're not headed towards the party, should we?
Well, do you want one of us to fall back and get the others, or would you like us all to go back?
Oh, I tell you what, I'll run back because I'm quite dexterous. So.
Roll me, as you guys are chatting on this, roll me a perception check, please.
14.
14?
18.
8.
Okay, Iyvak, as you're saying this then, just like kind of echoing through, you can just say, I told you this was a goddamn dead end, and fuck, we're gonna have to turn back.
Oh, not to matter.
I was gonna say, as you're kind of like considering coming back, out trots along Dravlan, Raynor, and Fu. Fu looks like he's sporting like a bit of a bruise on his face.
You got company, Iyvak?
Raynor's kind of like rubbing his hand.
Bit of bump on there, you fool.
Apparently I'm not that great of a navigator.
Come on, we think the party's up this way.
Yes, Rag.
Good.
Oh, was you calling me over?
No.
No, I just wondered if you had company, but I can see you have now.
Okay, yeah, so you guys continue walking out until finally it looks like you guys are starting to come out into a bit more of an opening, an expanse, if you will. So yeah, again, there are, as you're kind of making your way through the tunnels, again, various areas of it kind of ebb and flow in terms of width. And again, quite often there are new mine crystals embedded in the wall, as well as these carts that all have new mine crystals in them too.
Can I just have a look at it, just to see if there's anything else? Just like a little...
Roll an investigation, please.
Investigation. 17.
You're digging through a lot more, and there's not too much in there, but there does seem to be something metal in there as well. Like
Can
a
I
metal
grab?
thing just glinting through.
Can I grab the metal and try and pull it out?
So yeah, you grab it and just kind of like as the crystal kind of shift. As you do so, you yank it out, and you have the head of a miner's pickaxe.
Yeah. I just look at it, just like, Then I just drop it back in.
Just blink as it drops in.
And I'll just carry on.
Okay, I need to zoom out a little bit for this. Oh, shit. Okay, so as you all start making your way again around the area, through the tunnel itself, you start to come out into a much bigger cavern. Much bigger, like, chamber, should I say, sorry.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah, with the amount of crystals that are currently in this room, pretty much all of it is lit to you. It's not lit under the most best kind of lights, but you can get a general idea of the form of this place. it looks as though you are in a very large, expansive cavern. The cavern itself has numerous areas to it, we'll say. It has, as you're looking around, as you're kind of like approaching more into the entranceway itself, you can see that there are numerous carts scattered around the place, all with new mine crystals in them. There are some cart tracks, from the looks of it, that these mining carts would have been attached to at some point or another. Some of these white crystals, especially one in the centre of the room almost, some seem to be almost as big as a building. Some are very small, just kind of like poking through the ground, whilst others are literally the size of an actual building.
Wow. This is massive.
Well, there's a sight and there's no mistake.
So yeah, you guys kind of exit you exit into this larger cavern, and you see the rest of the group there with them. So yes, there is Redmond, there is Amrius, there's Abchar, there's also Bimit, Furin and Dravlan are also just kind of following behind you all.
Yeah, I just come up to Bimit and just, hello, Bimit. You all right?
Oh, you've all come back. That's good to see. What happened?
Yeah.
We looked around and we couldn't see you anywhere.
Yeah, well, thanks for the help, everyone.
I just look at Bimit.
Oh,
and
you're
just say,
welcome. Just
I
a big
just look
smile
at
on his face.
I just look at Bimit and just say, we just did some bug exterminations.
I am loath to give you inspiration for that, but I have inspiration for that. So, is that what that screeching noise was?
Yes, I believe they're called something hulks. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen these before. That's the problem.
Roll me a nature check, because you're trying to think if you've seen them.
Natural 20.
Yeah, you know all about them. They're Umberhulks, they're generally underground. Generally, they won't actually disturb miners too much. They don't really, the bigger the creature is, the less chance they're going to attack it. They seem to have become a little bit brazen to be attacking you guys, to be quite honest.
We just went against some Umberhulks.
That means literally nothing to me. I'm a dragon, a dragon who spent most of his time under... Oh. As he just kind of like thinks for a second. You mean those big clackety, scratchety things?
That's the one.
Oh, they taste awful.
I'm sure they do. Never tried them myself, but...
You're not missing much. They taste warm and syrupy.
Yes. We definitely won't be feeding them to you, Bimit.
I'd rather you didn't.
Nice sticks for you.
Well, now that we're all here and chatting, maybe we should
We'll get going, yes. Sorry about that.
Mimit!
cut the bullshit.
He just kind of looks... Iyvak. Hello.
Yes. Quick word.
Is the word my actual name?
No, that'd be pointless.
Just kind of narrows his eyes. Alright, very well. Come on. What's wrong?
Yes, we got into a bit of a scrap back there. And now, I know we've had a bit of differences on our travel here. I am aware of that, but I thought we had that resolved. I thought you were part of our crew.
I didn't even realise you guys had gone until we were like halfway up the tunnel. I thought you were following behind us.
Well, just rest in mind, it's like there might be a point where we get split up or whatnot, and I would rather you was on our side. Like when you said yourself you ate one of these things, you might have been handy in that fight.
Well, as I said, I didn't even realise there was a fight going on. If I knew, then yes, I would have come and helped.
Okay, well, yes. Okay, fine. Maybe all of us should just be a bit more conscious about keeping in our group.
I was going to say, do I see the big building that's like the ship of Crystal?
Yeah, so as Iyvak and Bimit are chatting, Gregor, you're kind of like just walking more into this giant cavernous expanse. And as you're kind of like looking around, you see that it's literally in the middle section of the actual cavern itself. It's kind of like just irradiating light off of it. It's casting light to the point where it is the main light source of this entire room. It's the entire reason why you can see so much.
Wow. I just look at it in the door.
Even from the distance that you're at, you can just hear kind of like a faint
A hum.
Yeah, like a humming coming from it.
Can I investigate it?
Yes. Is anyone else coming with you?
Does anyone else want to come investigate the big
I'll come and have a look, Gregor.
crystal?
I will help him.
At this, you're like... Everyone apart from Ebchar pretty much decides, yes, that's probably a good idea. That's a really interesting thing. So yeah, pretty much the entire expedition group, with the exception of Ebchar, who is just still walking up north, decides to come and check out the crystal with you. So the entire expedition group, so you, Amrius, Redmond, Raynor, Fu, everyone, you're all kind of like just stood in front of this giant white glowing crystal. This kind of like gentle coming from it. It's almost blinding to you all.
Do I know where the humming's coming from? Like, originate? Is it actually in the middle of it?
It just sounds like it's coming from the crystal itself.
Can I hum at the exact same frequency as the sound?
Roll me a performance check.
Should be used by dice, I don't know why I'm not. 5.
So if the crystal is humming like you're humming like
Never been very good at music.
But as you're all at this crystal itself, you can see that it's a good 30-40 feet tall. It's massive. It is all encompassing, which means that the actual height of this cavern itself must be around about 200 feet, because it's not even close to the top of it.
Can I don't want to say it. Can I touch it?
Roll me a death save. No, yeah. You touch it and you just you feel nothing. It's just it's cold to the touch.
Oh, I've got my eyes. Should have gone, Gregor, you feel like touching it.
You can if you want.
Forgot about that. Alright, cool.
Right. Nothing really happens when you touch it. You feel the cold press of a crystal.
Is it vibrating though?
Very, very faintly.
Rain. It's not Rainer. Who's Ebchar? Who's the leader of our expedition?
Amrius.
Amrius, that's it. Amrius, would you know why this be humming and vibrating? Is that...
So Amrius just kind of looks at it. Yes, I do believe that it is due to it being well, this is the original form of a new mind crystal. Before it is turned into one of the more specialized types. We're not quite sure how the crystal elves do it, but when they interact with these giant white crystals, they change the form of them, and that's how we have our pink new minds, our black new minds, our blue new minds. This is simply the untransformed state of a new mind crystal.
The empty vessel.
Yes, that is it exactly, an empty vessel.
Ah.
Grand. Right. Shall we move on?
I got a 14 on the investigation.
Oh.
Okay, what were you trying to investigate exactly?
This big crystal around here. I just want to search the outer perimeter of it and see.
It's a very large crystal. It is blindingly white, and it's emanating a lot of light from it. There's a lot of jagged edges and stuff. It looks like the crystal itself is embedded into the ground. Other than that, you can't really get too much else from it. Again, there's this
Go say it,
gentle
Tom.
humming noise.
It looks like a bigger version of the little ones down here, Gregor.
Yeah, that it does.
I'll move over to this blue section over here.
Yeah, I follow him.
Okay,
Got my
so 1 second. So as you guys are now kind of like walking away, you're kind of like walking to the northwest area. As you pass by an empty cart and stuff like that, both of you roll me a perception save, please.
Not good.
12.
What's a perception save? Tom, what's a perception save?
It's literally just a save.
Oh, is it just a perception?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
10.
I was going to say it's based off your wisdom. Sorry, so yeah, wisdom save, sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry, I see it. It's...
Just on perception, though.
Oh,
isn't it?
wisdom save.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
doing a wisdom-
perception
Oh.
is... Actually, yeah, no, sorry, I'm getting myself confused here. Yeah, it is. It's perception save, sorry. So use your perception modifier.
Yeah, it's
No,
12.
yeah, it's still 10.
Okay, Okay.
This is where we melt in acid.
Not quite. So, as you guys are kind of walking along, away from the glaring crystal and everything, the light of which is kind of like causing a massive... It's kind of paradoxical. There's a large amount of light where this actual crystal is itself, but a little bit further out, even though there's little spots of light from other crystals around. Where it's black, where it's dark, it is pretty much pitch black. So you two kind of continuing walking, and you think that you can see like almost a faint glow towards the ground. And as you continue walking, I need you both to roll me a dex save, please, because neither of you see this.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Dex save.
Yes.
11.
please. So,
Sorry, the nat 20.
I was going to say, so
Don't respond or anything.
It's alright.
I was just thinking on this.
Come
Sorry,
on, guys.
So, Rag, you don't notice it at first, but basically, you kind of reach the edge of where this glow is coming from, and you take a step forward, and just before you go too far, you realise that your foot is travelling down further than where the ground was originally. In fact, it's almost like you're going over the edge of something. As you're leaning forward, you kind of realise and you spring back.
Gregor, watch yourself here.
Unfortunately,
Gregor.
For me.
Gregor doesn't hear you, and he goes tumbling straight
Show
over.
it, Gregor!
Ah!
Sorry,
Greg,
just to clarify, is this beyond the little circle of light?
yes.
Right, okay.
Yes, where they are at the moment is pretty much pitch black. There are other orbs of light nearby, but this exact area, this where they are right now, is pretty much pitch black, but there are glows underneath them. However, Gregor, you don't hear Rag in time, and you take another step forward, and it's just kind of like 1 second there's ground, the next there's not, and you're falling forward. Roll.
Oh, okay.
Roll me.
Can
Roll
I
me in.
then,
Roll me another dex save, please.
while this is happening, can I try and do what I did previously and try and wrap my tentacle rod around his leg? Or his
Yeah.
arm, let's say, his arm.
You would have to do it with disadvantage because you're moving backwards, and this is kind of like a split-second type of thing.
That's alright.
Yeah, go for it then with disadvantage.
Shall I hold up?
Roll your roll anyway, just in case.
12. That's just with one of the tentacles, though.
So the first tentacle comes and it actually hits Gregor's ankle and sweeps his ankle. doesn't latch onto it, it sweeps his ankle. In fact, if anything, you might be the reason Gregor's going over the side.
Well, yeah. Can I do it with the other two?
Yeah, go on, disadvantage. So the first, Gregor, you feel like a tentacle kind of like sweep your ankle as you're going over.
Yeah.
13.
You feel another one hit the ankle again, and it's now tipping you almost upside down.
Right, come on. 19.
And then finally, you feel one wrap around your ankle, and it just kind of like smashes you into like a cliff face. As it grabs you, it kind of swings you in, and you take 2 points of damage. As you, as this inertia just kind of,
I can see you wrapping it around his neck then.
it might have happened on a nat one, that. But Gregor, you are now
hanging off the.
Yeah, you're now hanging by your ankle from a tentacle rod, and you're kind of like just upside down, swinging kind of lazily. And you're looking out, and as you're looking out, you can see that you're actually looking now down onto a lower area of the caverns. So you kind of just walked in an open, almost like an open manhole type of area into lower caverns, and you can actually see from where you are that the glowing that you saw before was more new mine crystals on areas that are much, much lower. If you had to hazard a guess, you'd say they're a couple of 100 feet below you.
100 feet?
A couple of 100 feet below you. And below that, you can't see anything else. There's just murky, black darkness.
Pull me up, pull me up, pull me up, pull me up, pull me up.
Roll me a strength check.
I know. So imagine if it was around his neck and I kept failing the strength check.
Fucking hell. We've had our first character
2 points of damage. 2 points of damage.
This is everywhere then, where the light isn't around these crystals.
No, it's just specifically. I'm not going to tell you that actually. No.
Where exactly are they stood now?
They are.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah, they said the murky blue area or the light blue area, which is up here.
Yeah, I was aiming for about here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where they are now.
Yes.
Oh, and this, right? Okay. Right, and that's where they're falling down. Right, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was water, to be honest.
Sorry,
I'll be fine.
Sorry, I thought they were here. Like as soon as they walked out the light, this was going on.
No. I kind of purposely made this all a little ambiguous. I can't make it too easy for you guys.
Did you roll a strength check?
Yeah.
Natural 1.
Oh god.
We might actually have our first character death here.
Yay!
It wasn't even a battle.
Sure.
Unfortunately, this is sometimes the way it goes. What I'm going to do as well, because it's a natural 1, so I will say this: if it is less than 20, if it is 20 or lower on these, then unfortunately, Gregor, you might plummet to your death. Maybe.
Okay.
Just to show as well that it's going to be completely above board as well. I can't move this camera down because it's now affixed. But I'll send you guys a photo of what it is.
I'm dead, I'm dead.
I don't know. Do you know what that is?
Oh, we don't know.
Has it come through on Discord yet?
Ah.
Yeah.
Should have done. Oh wait, no, it's not sent. That's why.
What is
So,
it?
It's in the players' chat. If it was lower than 20.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This is 6.
There's 9 and is it 6?
No, it's a 6.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. It's less than 20.
Imagine if I didn't do that then.
He was going to roll a dex save to see if he managed to grab onto the side, but you've kind of taken this agency away from him now. So as you're screaming, pull me up, pull me up, pull me up, Rag, you kind of like try and yank the tentacle rod, but Gregor seems to be a bit too heavy. The tentacle itself snaps, and Gregor, you are now plummeting.
Wait.
Can I was
Sorry.
I was going to say, as it reaches to the bottom, can I blast guiding bolts as a to cushion my blow into the floor?
I was
you
going
sure
try and
you
get
want
him
to do
before
that?
before he passes down. Where is he at right at this moment?
Yeah.
At this
true,
moment,
whatever.
he's literally just starting to drop. He's about 10 feet lower than he was before.
Okay, yeah, not yet.
Is he above that? So if I'm stood here on this square, right,
Yeah.
and let's say he's fallen here,
Yeah.
right, is he still at my level?
Nope, he's 10 feet below you.
10 feet below that, so that's
Well,
two
no,
squares
sorry.
down.
He's at this point in time. He'd already gone over, and you wrapped your tentacle rod over to grab him, and he was going over the side, so he was already about 5 foot dangling down. And he's now dropped another 10 feet, so he's 15 feet down this hole.
The rope.
I don't have it. I gave it to Iyvak.
And I'm right at the other end of the cabin.
Yeah.
Hello.
Just give me a second.
I was going to say, I'm going to let you both have one action.
What I was going to do is if he was up to the same level as me, as I was going to go round the side and then just fucking thunderwave to blast him back out.
Nope, he is underneath you.
But he's underneath me.
He is definitely below.
Have you figured it out yet? Have you figured out how I'm going to survive?
I've got one thing.
I like hard games.
Well, the one thing I can do is I'm just going to cast Featherfall onto him. It's got a range of 60 feet.
Okay. How long does
and
Featherfall last for?
It's one reaction which you take when you or a creature within 60 feet of you falls. Its range is 60 feet. Duration is 1 minute.
Okay, I need to calculate something. Which is always what you want to hear a DM say.
A falling creature's rate of descent slows to 60 feet per round until the spell ends. If the creature lands before the spell ends, it takes no falling damage and can land on its feet, and the spell ends for that creature.
Okay.
That's the best I can do.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, it just depends if it's falling for longer than 1 minute.
Oh, 60 feet. Does it stop working when it goes past 60 feet?
No,
It
it's
works
just
if
a
it goes
cast.
past.
Ah.
That's just to cast it, but it's 1 minute of falling time, and then anything else the spell will end.
It's only 200 feet. What took it a minute?
No, I didn't
200
say 200
feet?
Until it goes dark and you can't see beyond that.
I was going to say I didn't say 200 feet. I said that the islands were 200 feet. After that, it's just inky blackness.
So we don't know actually how deep this hole is.
You have no clue, I'm afraid.
Oh,
Could go into the
God.
abyss or anything. It could...
Yeah, I am having to... Gregor, how much do you weigh?
Just give me a second.
I'm having to science this out.
Feats and traits.
Don't know how much
what
you
would
weigh.
it be?
What a novice.
Here we go. Weight 203 LB.
Okay.
IB.
203. Give me 1 second.
Failing that, I'm just going to shout up to Cyric. Hell.
3.
It's your final thing.
Well, has Gregor got any tricks?
No, I've got none of that flipping.
How tall are you, sorry, Gregor?
It's like fucking Rex
oh,
falling.
I am 6'1".
Okay, so... okay. Sorry, I know that maths isn't exactly a great thing here, but I genuinely have to check something out here to see how long this is going to take. Coefficient. That's
What?
It takes longer than a minute to get
I
down
thought
there.
you said he was close to giving me it.
Your terminal velocity is 37.13 meters a second. So, let's call that 37. How long does the spell last for? A minute, did you say?
1 minute, yes.
So 60 seconds. Okay. So what are you trying to do here, Rag?
So, thinking first, so the first thing that comes to my mind is Thunderwave, as it always is. Thinking it's below me, that's not going to work. I'm going to scramble as close to him as I can. I'm just going to pull the loot off and just face it down towards him and cast his Feather Fall.
Okay, so can you explain how that works again?
Feel free to grab onto the loot, Greg, if you can reach it.
Yeah, you can't reach that. Definitely can't. Unless it's a template loot.
Not now he's upside down anyway.
No, it's falling head first.
And I just bashed him on the head with his loot.
Oh, fucking hell. So, yeah, can you explain how Feather Fall works again, please?
Yeah, so I get to choose up to 5 falling creatures within range.
Yes, so Gregor is obviously one of them.
A falling creature's rate of descent slows to 60 feet per round until the spell ends.
So that's 10 foot a second, then.
If the creature lands before the spell ends, it takes no falling damage and can land on its feet, and the spell ends for that creature.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, Gregor, as you're starting to fall, you hear Rag just kind of like strum his lute as he points down to you, and you're dropping very fast. At this point in time, you have now dropped to around about 45 feet down. However, as you hear Rag strum his lute, you suddenly feel yourself becoming a lot lighter, almost weightless. Your rate of descent slows very quickly. You are still falling, but you're falling at a much lower pace now.
Right. Can I pull my quarterstaff out and just dig it straight into the side of the rock?
Yeah, roll me a strength check, please. Also, I've realised that I didn't need to find out about the terminal velocity, because it just means that the maximum depth that you can drop is 600 feet without dying.
Fair enough. 16.
So you kind of jab your quarterstaff in, and it kind of gives way on the side. It kind of digs in a little bit, and it's holding for now, but you are still feeling yourself falling a bit. You're grabbing onto it, but it's bowing this quarterstaff. So you're now kind of clinging onto the side.
Guys, I could do with a bit of help here.
Can Iyvak hear me?
Yeah, at this point, I'm gonna say that hearing, like, the group has heard Gregor kind of like over the side. They've heard you, they've heard the loud of the tentacle rod snapping. They've all realised what's going on. They're starting to run across to you. Everyone is running across to you.
Yeah, Iyvak, quick, rope. I need to see movement.
I don't see any movement.
Any movement.
Well, I'm wondering if I'm running because it's really dark.
He's being cautious.
I was going to say it is very dark there, so you can run if you want. You might just have to roll me a dex check.
Do I have a bit of advantage with my glowing eyes, though?
That doesn't really... Ironically, you'd have more of an advantage if you were still blindfolded. But your glowing eyes just kind of give off a very... It doesn't really... It's more ambient lighting from your glowing eyes rather than, actually useful lighting.
I know you, Tom, and if I go running up to him, you're going to make me plummet straight in there. I know.
I was going to say, if you're running, you're going to have to roll a dex check, not just because of that, obviously, but there's other stuff on the ground too, and like you say, it's dark.
Well, exactly.
Cantrip, dancing lights, throw them straight out toward making a path of light.
Yeah, there is now... So, Rag, you know... Sorry, is Featherfall concentration, or is it just a straight up just normal cast?
It's just a cast.
Okay, that's fine. Sorry, I just wanted to double check on that. Yeah, so Rag, seeing Iyvak starting to make his way cautiously, fully understanding of the fact that Gregor's got about 50 seconds until the spell wears off at this point. You kind of throw your hand across and four little orbs of light light the way. So yes, Iyvak, you can see.
Right, I'll run.
Yeah, you run across, and yeah, you are now at the edge. You're at the precipice, basically, looking down. And as you look down, you can see kind of Gregor just hanging on to the quarterstaff as it's bowing and creaking slightly. The rest of the group is also there, just kind of looking over, just...
What the fuck do we do?
Go on, give him some rope.
How many feet down is he?
At this point in time, he is around about 45, 50 feet.
Sweet. I've got a piece of rope that's 50 foot. So I'm going to give you...
So
So I'm going to
Damn
give
You've
you...
also
rope
got my
down.
infinity rope. You've also got my
No,
infinite rope.
it's tangled though, so you'd have to untangle it and all that. I've got a 50-foot clean rope, so... Oof.
Oh, okay.
yeah, so you drop this rope down.
Rag! Help us, other end. It's an heavy chap.
Yeah.
You
got
both grab hold of it. You've both got it in your hands now.
Can I-
Both of you,
Can I, just before we start doing it, can I run down the back of this cart thing so I can get my foot on it so I can anchor myself?
you can, but it's not going to reach. The rope's no longer going to reach. That's about 10 feet away.
Yeah.
Fine. Ooh, alright. Alright,
Yeah, we
So-
were dangling over the edge.
I'll
Yep.
run back.
So as you guys are kind of like on the precipice with the rope kind of in between both of your hands, it drops down to where Gregor currently is.
Right, I just grab it,
Yeah.
pull my quarterstaff out,
It's just kind of...
and I just grab it with both hands.
Both of you roll me a strength check, please.
Wait, it's Featherfall though, isn't it?
Who's
so I
rolling
assume
strength
it'd be
checks?
lighter.
He will, but yeah, you still need to roll the strength check for it. That's why it's not with disadvantage, and it's Rag and Iyvak rolling a strength check, please.
Oh, Rag and Iyvak, sorry, not me.
Yeah, you're just kind of grasping on here.
My strength
14.
is shite. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Please don't tell me it's a nat one.
No. 4.
Okay. It's not going to do it, I'm afraid, guys. A 14 and a 4. So, Gregor, you can hear them straining under the weight of trying to pull you up, even with Featherfall. And yeah, you're not budging at all. You're not going any further down, but you're not going any further up.
Can I just try and climb up?
Roll me a strength check. It's your kind of like...
Can I just call to Mimit as well and go,
22.
fly?
Gregor, you start climbing up it. You're now about 43 foot down. As you're asking Bimit to fly, Bimit just kind of looks at you, looks down. If he falls, I will. At the moment, there's no point in me doing it. I won't be able to turn back into a human, and I don't think I can fit through half of these places anymore.
I'm going to try and heave again then.
Alright, strength check. Iyvak, if you're doing it again.
Can I help him with the heat?
20. Not a natural.
No, natural. Okay, yeah, you don't need to help him at that point. So yeah, he pull you kind of like grip both hands, feet planted into the ground, and just give it a strong yank up. You feel it come up this time, and Gregor, you pull up another 5 feet of rope. So Gregor, you are now around about 38 feet down.
Right, keep going, so I'm going to keep climbing up again.
Get your legs
Yeah.
on the wall, Iyvak.
I'm gonna walk back with the rope now we've got that little extra give.
Yeah, I was
And
going to
wrap
say you
it-
can rope.
Wrap it around that cat.
Okay, so yeah, it is now affixed to that cart. So at this point, yeah, both of you roll. Whoever's rolling strength checks, roll strength checks then.
You best do strength, Greg.
23.
So, Gregor, you now climb up another 9 feet. So you are now around about 28, 29 feet away.
Advantage, Rag, because I'm helping you.
Okay.
$18.
So as Gregor is climbing up further and further up the rope, you're starting to find it feels a little bit easier to pull him up. You pull another, you kind of like just yank another 9 feet. So Gregor, you are now only 20 feet away.
Well, I'll just keep climbing up as quickly as I can. I take a look back down to see the darkness, and that
Yeah,
kind of,
the darkness is all encompassing past those two like little ridges. It actually feels like the darkness is trying to swallow you up. You feel like an almost primordial dread emitting from that area. It's not somewhere that you want
I just
to
start trying to get up it even quicker.
Roll me a perception check, actually, please. And then a strength check afterwards.
The abyss
14.
14. As you're looking down, you swear that you can see like an almost faint red glow from even further down. Where this like a reddy, greeny, almost like a poisony green type of glow to it.
Yeah.
You think nothing. I was gonna say you don't really think anything of it. It's just something that you notice, but
Okay.
it adds to the primordial dread.
All right. I'll roll for my strength.
Yep.
10.
So after seeing that kind of like that light down there, all the way down, hundreds of feet down, you kind of almost freeze for a second.
Guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna heave again.
Yeah, one more strength check then, please.
I'm going to help.
Yeah, just a normal strength check then. Actually, yeah, with advantage. Sorry.
23.
23. So with Iyvak helping you, you both hold on to it, and just again one more big yank up, and Gregor just kind of comes flying up over the edge and just kind of like barrels into the both of you. He kind of like takes you both out at the same time.
God. You're right there, Greg.
No. I'm not all right.
Come on.
Just get
We got
myself
it.
back
We
up.
got it. Nothing happened.
I'm just going to stay away from that edge.
Right, I'm going to wind up the rope and I'm going to... So, are we going to learn something from this? My dear comrades.
Stick together.
Fantastic.
With that, Amri is just kind of... He's now walking past you. I do believe that Iyvak has a very good point there.
You could talk.
It was not I who had fallen off the edge of a precipice.
No, but it was you that ran off when we dealt with those bugs back there.
What bugs where?
Exactly.
Well, I'm afraid, Iyvak, you cannot really chastise us for not joining in a fight if we did not know a fight was occurring.
Because you walked ahead.
And we already said that if one of us, if we are travelling together, and sorry, I've genuinely forgot the fucking line of track I had there. If we were travelling together, and we are in trouble, you as bodyguards are meant to protect us. You, Iyvak, you are Iyvak. You, Ragnarok, Gregor, Raynor, and Fu are hired as bodyguards. Whilst, do not get me wrong, my boy. Whilst Ebchar and myself can look after ourselves, that is not our jobs. We can in an emergency situation. However, if we are being randomly attacked by creatures or bandits or whatnot, it is your job to protect us. Do you understand? That is why you are on this expedition as bodyguards. Obviously, Dravlan cannot take part in battles as his religion. Although I would say his religion doesn't allow it. I have known many clerics of Lathander who participate in battle. Nonetheless, that is not for me to say. Obviously, Redmond, whilst he would probably love the chance to fight, should not. He is simply an archaeologist.
You seem to think I am confused about the contract between us. I'm not. I am more than happy to get into fight and help you, as those so wish, but it is very hard if we're not in the same bleeding cavern.
Well, I tell you what then, Iyvak. The next time that we escort ahead and something attacks you from the rear, shout and let us know, because as far as we were concerned, you were pretty much around the corner from us. We thought that maybe Ragnarok had found another pretty crystal to pick up.
That was a dig at Rag, wasn't it?
Are you saying that in character?
No, I was saying that just.
I'm just going to look at Rag.
Don't look at me.
Anyway, we've sorted that out now. Shall we? I just literally just turn on my sunbeam blade.
Yes.
Because that emits a 15-foot radius of light around me.
Yeah. You are now able to see the floor directly below you. So yeah, you were able. Now that this is there, you can see that this actual giant hole looks to be around about 50, 60 feet across and about 30 feet, like 60 feet wide, 30, 40 feet in length.
I say, Greg.
Call my lights as well.
That's a mightily
Yes, sir.
handy thing you've got there. It's sort of like something designed to stop you falling down a hole.
I just look at it as like, I'm just too shooken up just to even answer. It's like, yes. Yes.
Well, yeah, we've got more important things ahead, I suppose.
So, with that then, with you guys finally having rescued Gregor, oh, that was a close one.
I do not like Arius.
It's fair. It's fair enough.
I just don't like him. He's just...
I think I'm actually saying this at the edge of the cliff as well.
Okay. Are you actually saying that at the edge of the cliff?
I've just murmured it to myself. Okay, he's winding me up.
He's not heard you. He's kind of already walked on. As Raina passes by,
Yeah, he's a bit of a wanker, but pay's paid, right?
and just continues walking.
Yes, the shame is if I'm not here for the money, which I'm not.
I just carry on
Easy
walking
for it.
towards these what looks like tracks. Like
Yeah,
train tracks.
So yeah, as you guys continue heading north, you see that Ebchar is already there. He's kind of like crouched down, looking at this giant wooden turntable. There's some tracks leading off of it, and tracks leading. So the tracks that lead directly upwards stop quite abruptly, but there are others that kind of like snake their way into another cavern. As he sees you all approaching, he just kind of looks up. Oh yes, you've decided to press on with this cavern at last, I believe. Have you had your fill of looking around?
Oh, I have. I'm ready for the next thing.
Very well, very well. These minecart tracks, I believe it's probably in our best interest to follow them. If we are to descend further down, I believe that these minecart tracks will probably lead us to the next elevator.
I say, have we not seen the bottom of this abyss?
I
abyss.
don't want to, Iyvak. I've seen plenty.
Hector, can you not use your dancing swiddly light things? Send them down there, see...
Yeah, I can do.
How far do they?
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, bad.
They should be alright, but I know.
Should they?
120 feet.
So as Gregor, you kind of walked away with half the group, pretty much all of the group. Iyvak and Rag, you two are kind of like peering over, just like looking at each other, just like, how far do you think it is? You also see that Redmond's just like, oh wow, I bet it's really, I bet it's further than your dancing lights can go.
Yeah, which is also 60 feet. Which I thought was more, but it turns out no, it's only 60 feet.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of chuck them down, you send them down, so they can go to a maximum distance of 60 feet away from you.
Yes.
So yeah, they kind of keep going. They drop a little bit further than where Gregor was, and then they just, they're gone. Ha! Well, it was deeper than 60 feet, what do you know?
Yes, it was.
If I had to wager a guess, he kind of picks up a rock, just drops it. 5 seconds pass. 10 seconds pass. Half a minute passes. A minute passes. you guys continue trying to listen out for this rock?
I want to know if it goes past a minute.
Yeah.
All right. Roll me a perception check.
11.
Oh.
11 and a 19.
20. 21.
20. Okay.
21.
21. Sorry. So Rag, you aren't able to hear it at all. Iyvak, it takes. I need to figure this fucking out again. Sorry, I've just calculated that completely wrong. You're kind of like leaning over and just waiting for it still. And after... Are you sure you want to be listening for this?
Yeah.
Takes 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
3,600 seconds in an hour. It's 120 miles per hour. That's far.
That's far. I never
Yeah.
dropped into that.
Well, it's a good job we had that rope, isn't it, hey, Greg? Well, I was curious about those islands, but if we're not bothered, we could keep going, I suppose.
You're more than welcome to find out, but I'm not going
No,
near that.
I think we should leave it.
Okay.
Okay, so at that point then, yeah, you are all now kind of, you're all now at this turntable where Gregor is with Amrius and Abchar and everyone. As they've been kind of waiting, Gregor, have you been saying anything to the rest of them?
No, I'm kind of still a bit shook up from that drop.
That's fair. At this point then, Amrius just kind of, he's nodding along with Abchar, just turns to face the rest of the group. Yes, I would agree with my boy that we've had quite a pressing start to this expedition. However, we must soldier on, as it were, and I believe that the best course of action right now would be to follow these cart tracks. You see, if there is another elevator to lower levels where this temple may be located, then following these cart tracks would be in our best interest, as obviously this would lead the cart around to other areas of this cavern. And if there is another turntable such as this, I do believe that it will be directly onto the next elevator.
I'll be doing what you're doing. Amurus.
Glorious. Are you quite all right there, my boy? It was quite the scare, I believe, was it not?
Just a bit shooken up. That's yeah.
That's more than fair enough. It just kind of like pats you on the shoulder. It happens to the best of us. Take it as a learning experience.
Look where I'm going.
Yes, that would be the lesson. Look where you are going. So at this point, Rag and Iyvak, you have also rejoined them. So are you going to follow them up the minecart tracks?
Yeah, I'm going to follow them.
Okay, so yeah, you follow this kind of like winding, snaking area until there is another opening. It is quite a tight squeeze. It is less than like 4 feet wide. So as you are all approaching that, and there are 2 more minecarts. Yeah, just minecarts. There are 2 more minecarts full of new mine crystals. Everyone roll me a perception check, please.
16.
20, not natural.
Okay.
6.
So Iyvak, you're a little bit too annoyed at everything that's been going on over the last hour or so.
Meta, I'm fuming, by the way, everyone. In game. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant, like, in real life, I'm fucking furious.
Oh, yeah, because I said meta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meta, I'm so pissed off. Right, carry on.
Tom, you're such a dickhead. Unmeta.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm saying it as me, Gareth.
Yes.
Iyvak
that you're
is
pissed.
really pissed off now. At
That's fair.
a lot of people. So he's
Well, from Amrius, you mean?
Amrius,
From most of them.
you two, the dragon.
What's
my
Bibbit
word.
done? Bibbit's just like the perfect like picture of innocence.
Mimit's up there as being alright out the lot of them, but because I'm on that level of
Just
about,
everything's pissing
of
you off.
about to snap, he's still in my bad books. So
Fair play. Wow. So yeah, you're too pissed off to notice. You continue just walking up, so you're pretty much kind of like squeezing into the entrance.
I'm
of this-
behind everyone though.
Oh, you're behind. Okay, yeah. So you're just kind of waiting for everyone to pass by. Gregor and Rag, you both notice that there seems to be a figure slumped against one of these carts.
I go and check it out. Just shine my sunblade just like right next to it.
Can you
Oh,
just
it.
highlight that again? I didn't see that.
I didn't highlight anything, but I will. So it is literally just against this minecart here.
Oh yes.
Okay.
There's like a body slumped there, kind of like slumped against it. And as you raise your sunblade towards them, Gregor, you can see that it is a very battered, very bloodied and bruised crystal elf. Like the growths that have come out of him, a lot of them have been shattered. There seems to be some that were coming out of his chest and they look like they've just been ripped out. His eyes, one of his eyes is completely cracked, the other is missing. And he's just bleeding profusely.
Is he dead?
Well, funny you should say that. As you hold the sunblade close to him, you can just hear
Yeah. Can I stop the bleeding?
roll me a medicine check. Because...
So he said, "Can I rip his head off?"
Oh, wow. Yeah, because whilst you're kind of familiar with the anatomy of normal elves, crystal elves, you're not sure if they're the same, really.
16.
16, so you can tell, so far as you can tell, yeah, their anatomy is pretty much the exact same, so all it will require is some form of stemming the blood itself. However, given the amount of blood that this person has already lost, there is like literally blood pooling at his base. There's quite a lot of blood that's against the mining cart itself. It's kind of like dripping off the mining cart as well. You don't think that this guy is too long for this world.
No. Okay. I just try and make it as comfortable as I can. I think.
So yeah, as you're doing that, as you're doing that for him, you're kind of leaning quite close, and as you're getting closer and closer to him, you're just kind of like trying to shuffle him around. You just hear. It's not very helpful. You just hear a very quiet whisper of Ada. Ada.
Do I understand that, Ada?
Roll me some kind of roll. I'm not sure what roll. Roll me history because it's an ancient language.
10.
No.
What's he saying there, Gregor?
Ada.
Ada, my famille.
Ada Mafamil.
What language is it?
Is Crystal Elf.
Yeah, but
Ancient Elvish.
Ancient. I know Elvish.
So roll me history with advantage then.
I was going to say I knew Elvish.
You didn't tell me that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't know Elvish.
Yeah, Rag, you're just like Ada, my famil? I don't know.
I don't know.
mean?
Another poppycock again.
What is it? History?
Speech. Yes.
20, not nat.
So at that, you recall that Elvish itself has many different offshoots, and Elvish itself appears to be an offshoot from this ancient crystal elf speak. So what you can tell is there is a very similar word in Elvish for similar to Ada, which means help, and famil sounds close enough to family to you that you can tell that means family.
I'm not too sure because the dialect it's not quite what I'm used to, but it's sounding something along the lines that involves help and family.
He just kind of at that he kind of like grabs onto Gregor.
Montflares. Dunshire.
Yeah, I get that. Help with family.
Yeah,
is what put
I'll
me
roll
here.
to see if I understand that as well.
You got danger at the very least straight away without needing a roll.
Oh, okay. Who did this to you?
The cult. Me kill. The cult the miracle.
The cult of miracle.
I think that's the
Merkel.
cult of Merkel.
Miracle we.
Miracle.
He's just kind of grabbing and pulling you close, so you can see desperation in this crystal elf's shattered eye.
Can I just literally look at him and just point towards where the trail's going? It's like, through there?
We. Montflares captured.
I just look at Rag and Iyvak at this point. It's like, it sounds like the cult of Merkel's down there.
It appears so.
Are we wanting to go down there?
Well, I think we need to. All of us as a group need to.
Definitely
That's
all
where
of
we're
us,
heading,
but
isn't it?
It depends if Amorous Reed wants us to go down there.
We're all
Fuck
foolish.
Amorous.
Ambrose is stood next to you guys.
All right.
You know, the group is all there, pretty much.
I didn't realize you were
Sorry,
here.
I was looking at the tokens of just me and.
Yeah, no, I've
Gone off again.
I was going to say, I've not. I said, like, when we entered
I know
here, we
you
don't have
did,
to worry
yeah,
about
I
the
know.
tokens now because it's too big an area. I only really made this in case there was combat here.
Oh god.
Otherwise, I'd have just described it to you all. Regardless, Amri is just like, yes, of course. Despite whatever dangers we may face, our entire intention was to come to the Temple of Merkel.
Can I? Is he about nearly dead? Is he?
He's on death's door. He's not doing too great.
Can I try and cast Cure Wounds on him?
Yeah, go for it.
It's a touch,
Yeah, so you kind of place your hand on his shoulder.
and
I'll pull my. I'll just pull my dagger out. From my
ready to
side
kill him.
and say, Gregor. Shake my head.
I can save him. Don't worry.
It's too late for him, Gregor.
I just shout, heal.
I'll start walking over towards
And
him.
I
As you're shouting heal, there's a light glow that comes through, but the wounds themselves don't bind.
God damn it, heal!
Try it again, and again the wounds glow, and it looks like for a second there's like almost like a glob of flesh that attaches from one side to the other, and it breaks.
What, is he still alive?
put my-
He's still alive.
Put my hand on Gregor's shoulder. Gregor. It's too late for him.
I just look down to the floor and literally just sit down. It's like, shit.
Rag, as you're kind of like stood over this guy, you feel, similar to you, putting your hand on Gregor, you feel another hand on your shoulder.
You should probably let an elf kill an elf.
As Raynor kind of puts his hand on your shoulder.
Fine.
Greg, Rag, go on.
Yeah, so you do that.
Sheath it back in.
I just had the image of him healing him up, and then you can walk up and stab him in the eye.
Right, he's healing. Straight into his head. Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, as you're kind of walking away,
Yeah, I walk.
Raynor is now crouched in front of this elf, and he's kind of like leant forward, and you can tell that he's kind of talking softly to him. You can overhear if you want to roll a perception roll.
Yeah, I
You
want
can
to
just-
wear it.
No,
Right.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
I
kind
wanna
of
wear
just
it
carry
as
on
well.
walking.
Okay, both of you roll
Natural 20.
Oh,
Good, because I got 5.
all right. Well, Rag, seems it's a natural 20. You actually hear in common because Raynor doesn't speak ancient Elvish, but you can hear Raynor just
be at peace. You'll be fine. You've always lived underground, so all this darkness is, what you're used to. Don't worry, we'll find your crystally shiny dust spot of a brother, family, or whatever it is.
as that's happening, as he's saying that, Rag, you hear this crystal elf.
Why do you insult your kind so much? We are all the same, elves. Rescuing man, famille, is tantamount to our own kin.
And you can hear Raynor again.
Maybe if, you crystal elves had been my kin, could have been a bit different. You're all fucking freaks down here. But the wood elves up top, they're very snooty. You've all got to fit in all the time, and let's put it this way, if you got abilities like mine, they'll cast you out. They spend their entire time hunting for you, so you might as well become a fucking monster for them. So, excuse me if I'm not exactly happy about finding more elves down here, but you have my word as honorary kin, I guess, that if they're still alive down there, we'll bring them back to whatever's left up top anyway.
With him saying that, the half-dying elf just like,
What do you mean, what is left up top? Is the residential area okay? Is it safe?
Raynor, Rag, roll an insight check here as you're listening to him.
2.
You're not sure if Raynor is telling the truth, if this is what he actually believes or not, but you just hear Raynor,
Yeah, they're all fine up there. Nothing bad's happened. Everyone's fine. They're all just waiting for you all to return, so rest easy. Everyone up there's safe.
and with that he just kind of stabs this crystal elf through the throat. Just pulls out the knife.
Fists.
And just kind of wipes the knife, pockets it, and just kind of walks past you all. His face is kind of lowered.
Rag's got a tear in his eye from hearing all that.
No, he doesn't.
No, he is.
Yeah, he just kind of walks past all of you in silence, just head down, face darkened as he's just walking down this tunnel.
As he walks away, I'll just be like, in the throat.
Yeah, I'm more gone for the eye myself.
Wow, guys. So I'm
just
guessing.
go, come on, let's go, guys. Just like a bit angry with myself. No. being able to save him.
So yeah, you guys continue, and you're pretty much now following Raynor, who has taken point. Yeah, Raynor himself has taken point here, and he kind of leads you around the track, again going around another empty mining cart. At this point in time, the tunnels themselves are getting a bit more snug, we'll say. There's 2 or 3 feet width in them. You can pass by, everyone is passing by, but you can tell that some of the largest set of you, so Rag, Gregor, Bimit, they're all starting to, it's kind of going against your... Yeah, it's going against your shoulders a little bit. You're squeezing through. But eventually, after another minute or two, you do actually come out into another small little opening. The tracks lead around, and you see what looks to be 2 turntables where the minecarts typically would be. As you're approaching it, you see Amrius again, just kind of trying to take point as he sees the elevator. I do believe that this is our next point of ingress. This is where we need to head down. I must warn you. As Iyvak is just making face. Iyvak is stood directly behind Amrius, mimicking him. Just to the rest of the group. Iyvak, you actually see, as you're taking the piss out of Amrius, you can see Ebchar himself just struggling to not break out in a laugh. As you're just mocking his dad mercilessly. But he continues. I have no doubt that as we continue further down these mines, these accursed mines, we are going to find heavier and heavier danger. One would hope that our next stop would be the... I'm going to have to stop looking at the camera here because fucking hell. I would hope that our next stop would be the Temple of Merkel itself. However, I would suggest that once we exit this elevator, maybe we have some kind of rest. Some of us, he's looking now at Rag and Gregor, some of us have had quite a pressing day and could do with a quick rest to regain our composure.
I agree. Let's go.
Yep.
Just
True for
bluntly,
that.
just walk straight into the elevator.
Yeah, that is good news.
I've nearly died myself, and I've failed to save someone else, so I'm not feeling the best.
Yeah, it's not Gregor's lucky day, really, is it? Okay, so as you guys... Let's see if this is right. Yeah.
I'm going in last.
Yeah, so Gregor, you're kind of not Gregor, Iyvak, you're kind of just waiting for everyone to pass by, and as they continue passing by, you kind of just wait for everyone to kind of pile themselves in, and you kind of walk in, you turn around, and you kind of just shut the actual gate itself, just I've loaded up the wrong one, sorry, 1 second here, guys. Yeah, so the gate for the lift itself clangs shut just with a... And once again, the lift begins to descend into complete darkness. And as you continue to descend, all you can hear again is the familiar of the clanging of the metal tracks against the lift. Finally, though, after a good 5-10 minutes of this and literally no light at all, there's not even one of those crystals in this elevator, you're just travelling in complete dark, and that's it, really. The lift suddenly comes to a sudden halt, and the gate slides open by itself. And you are now stood in a single cavern with a single passageway, and Amrius begins to lead the group through it, but you cannot help but feel an ominous presence around you. It is a lot hotter down here. It is far hotter than any of you anticipated, and all of you are starting to feel more and more overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed by the heat and by the feeling that you don't belong here. And not only that, but there is something else that you feel doesn't belong here. As you exit the passageway, in front of you is another large cavern, or at least what should be a large cavern. Instead though, crammed into the opening, almost as if some higher being has taken it wholesale and just rammed it into the cave itself. Almost like it's tried fitting it through a door that's several sizes too small, is a large building. You are not able to see the top or the sides of the building as the front covers the entire cavern, and the cavern walls themselves have begun to encroach into the building. And as you continue forward, the sense of dread and fear begins to rise more and more until it is all that you can feel. And Gregor, you can feel that same dread that you felt as you looked down into the cavernous abyss. The building itself emanates a greenish, reddish hue to it, similar to the one that you saw before. All at once, the dark black building is beckoning you closer, whilst the red and green aura emanating from it is warning you to stay back. Lines of torches emit a sickly green glow and highlight a broken pathway that does not belong there. And at the very end of them, at the very end of this set of torches, there is a set of double doors that stretch almost to the height of the cavern. And in the centre of these double doors, spilling onto both sides, is a large white triangle with a jet black skull daubed onto it. And almost as if it has sensed your approach, the doors crack open, splitting the skull, and a putrid smell and billows of clouds leak out. You finally found the Temple of Merkel, and all that there is left is to accept the invite inside. The Reaper, the Maelstrom, and the Thief is a Dungeons & Dragons show by RollCast. Episode 12, An Unexpected Shortfall, has featured JB as Ragnarok, Coogan as Gregor the Last, Gareth Ryan as Iyvak Mileart, and Tom Crabbe as the DM. Intro, midpoint, and outro music were all provided by JB. Editing and sound mixing was done by Tom Crabbe. As usual, we'd like to give thanks and credit to the following for allowing us to use their tracks: Adrian von Ziegler, Alexandr Nakarada, Alexandr Zhelanov, Darren Curtis Music, Swordcoast Soundscapes, and The Seventh Midnight. Full links to all the tracks used are in the episode description, and all of these artists are simply amazing, so please show them some love. If you like what we do and you want to show your support, then why not check out our socials? Follow our Facebook page at facebook.com/castthatroll. Follow and tweet at us on Twitter using the handle @castthatroll. And finally, subscribe to our YouTube channel using the handle @castthatroll. You'll be able to get episode updates, random bits of lore, and information on both Twitter and Facebook, and our YouTube page has all of our current episodes up in a visual format. Don't want to watch but you still want to listen? Don't worry, we've got your back. Look for RollCast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, Good Pods, and all other podcast platforms. Thank you again to everyone who has been watching or listening to this episode. We'll see you again for episode 13, The Temple, on Wednesday the 13th of May.
I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder.
The last I checked, you weren't a goddamn elf.
I think you might be right.
Then Avarice puts his thing on your shoulder. I agree.
And we all do the Macarena.
Tieflings and elves have always been at war, so I'm going to stab the fucking hell out of this one.